is just a very short video specifically covering the difference in the hierarchy in the Church of England and other Protestant denominations with regard to the different councils or boards or whatever you want to call those. So watch the other video that talks about the Church of England hierarchy and the different levels, okay? And they're going to go with the bishop level because that's where we're going to come here important. And then consider the other lots of other Protestant denominations that will have a board of deacons. Okay, there's usually a church council or whatever you want to call a committee, and you can have the church, the president or the treasurer or secretary. But you have a council of deacons that handle all the logistics, administrative activities of the church. That includes the elders and the pastor. But then you have a separate council, known as the elders council, elders board, that includes the elders of additional specific requirements and criteria. Read the chapters in Timothy and Titus about those as qualifications. And then the pastor or pastors. So what happens is all of the administrative points are covered, activities are covered by the entire church council, which includes the deacons and the elders and the pastors. And then you have the elder council with the pastor, which discuss people problems, okay, human resources issues. So let's come back over to the Anglican Church. The bishop, so you have a lot of the church, the church council handles all this at the local level, but at the bishop level, the diocesan office handles all the administrative things for annual returns, trying to work with getting locums coming into work during interregnum where there's not a priest in charge. So the human resources aspects are handled, and the only real statistics and information about the church are through the annual returns. However, that's the bishop's office. But the bishop also has a secondary role in pastoral care, especially when there are not archdeacons or others that can have that freestanding that are specifically dedicated to pastoral care because they have their own chaplaincies only. But there is the case where the bishop also has a responsibility for the role of handling human resources issues. So all of the people problems. And what happens is this can be quite difficult because the same person has both roles, but they're not seen as separated. And so if things are not being acted on, this can be very complicated. It's important to also know that a lot of in the other churches we see that there are meeting minutes for the activities, but there's usually not meeting minutes of the elders board and all that. Those are just discussed. There's oral information that's passed, so there's not a lot of traceability between, but there's continuity that you get people don't drop off the board at the same time, so there's continuity in the council and the elders. However, in the bishop, there seems to be information that passes, which happens a lot not through email or not through archives, but also when there are people problems that go through and are dealt with, these do not go into any archives, at least not any that can be consulted without any specific legal need to do that. So keep that in mind if you're expecting the bishop to give you information or deal with problems with people problems in the church, because that will not be revealed or dealt with, whereas this is handled a lot more at these other types of local churches.